the ELeaf iWu. Let's have a quick look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with a quick look video. We're having a quick look at this today. This is ELeaf's brand new pod system, the ELeaf iWu. What is it? Okay, basically it is ELeaf's first go, as from what I understand, it's their first proper go at a genuine pod system. It is a 1.3 ohm coil in here, 2 ml capacity pod. You can put in whatever juice you like, but the coils are built into the pod, so you get an entire pod every time your coil has worn out, if you like. Interchangeable sleeves. I'll show you these properly in a second. You can get different sleeves to change the look of it. 700 mAh battery. Very large battery size for a pod of this nature. 700 mAh, and it is a suction activated pod, so you give it a vape to activate it. There's no buttons on here or anything like that. Vaping a bit like this. A very nice, a very solid vape. You know, the thing with pod systems is that it depends on the person using this. Some people like them as a genuine vape, a pub vape or what have you, but I know a lot of people just like them as a nicotine delivery system, and they're not too worried about flavour and clouds and all that sort of stuff. For what it's worth, I think the flavour's pretty solid on here. For what it is, I think the flavour's okay, and yeah, it's quite a tight vape, and it does produce a nice little cloud. A nice little vape if you're looking to get off the cigarettes and on to the electronic cigarettes. Pretty solid. So the vape style on this, the amount of airflow in this, I would say it's in line with most of these pod systems. It's not a genuine mouth to lung, very tight vape, but again, it's very much a restricted lung vape. Not by any means a direct to lung vape. I'll give it another blast and you'll see what I mean. You'll also see when I fire it that this little green light comes on. It's a nice indicator that it's working, but also it's a battery indicator as well. That will change as the battery gets to the point where you need to plug it in. Micro USB in the bottom for charging. So here we go. Another vape on this, and you'll sort of get an idea for what the draw is like. Not bad by any means. You'll see that as I was drawing on that, I didn't need to take another second draw. It was one continuous one. It's a very tight vape. It's slightly tighter than the Vick Motive. Now the Motive 2, I should say. It feels a slightly tighter draw than that, but from what I understand, it is the same coil system in here as the Vick Motive. ELeaf and Vick are sort of sister companies, so that is why they share a lot of the technology. So yeah, so it's looking like this. It's quite crazy looking. Raised a few eyebrows on Instagram when I put a picture of this up. Yeah, it's pretty rad looking. It's pretty radical looking. But don't forget, obviously, you can change these covers. You can change these cases. In terms of size, I have some more pods here to show you. So it is slightly taller than the Vick Motive, but I believe the battery life is a little bit better than the Motive 2. That's what I've found anyway. So the battery life is slightly bigger than that, and again, better battery life, but a lot taller than the PAL Mini from Artery. So you know, size is relative. If you want like an absolute benchmark height, that is it against an 18650. So just a little bit taller than an 18650. Certainly pocket friendly. Certainly fits in the hand. Certainly pretty stealthy. So how does this one work? So you've got this base bit at the bottom here. This cover pops off. It's got little ball bearings here to keep the case pretty firmly on, but you can push it off. You've then got this battery unit here, and then the pod just pops off here. It's just a friction fit affair, but it is very tight on. There's no way this is going to wobble off. So that pops off there. You've got your battery connectors there on the bottom of the pod system, and then you've literally just got a rubber bung to refill it. You just pull that rubber off and pour your juice down here. The pod is completely see-through, so you can see exactly how much juice you've got left in here. In terms of juice, I would recommend 70-30 or 50-50 VG/PG juices on here. That is very much what I recommend for here. Anything thicker than that is really not made for anything thicker than that, so I wouldn't recommend IVG juices in here, to be honest. It's really not what you're going for. Ideally you're going for nic salts in here, or certainly high nic freebase juice in here at the least. This is just a quick look, not a review, but I've got to say that the battery life for me has been stellar. It's gone to work and back, all on one pod and all on one battery, so that has been very effective indeed. It's very well made, as you would expect from ELeaf. Absolutely no quality control issues on the making of these. Very well put together. I think these coils, same as the Motive 2 from Wismec, these coils are very, very solid indeed. Certainly outperform a lot of the pod coils out there that I've tried. In terms of, is it the best pod I've used so far, I would say it's neck and neck with the Motive V2, which is, you know, very, very similar counterpart, and the Innokin iQ as well. I would say those three are pretty much on a level as probably the three pod systems I would recommend to this point. Technically, I don't know what your terminology is like. It is a pod, but because you can put your own juice in, I guess it's more of an all-in-one than a pod system. But let's call it a pod for the sake of argument. The ELeaf iWu, available in loads of colours. It's about £25. Very well made. No major gripes or complaints. If you're really interested in this and you've got time on your hands, check out some proper full reviews of this and see how people have got on with it. But a pretty solid pod from ELeaf, the iWu. Check it out if you're interested. Links in the description. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you've not already. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers.